You know what I just found out? I can't have a rooster in the town of Shenango because they crow. I said, what about all the barking dogs? I says, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 barking dogs that bark constantly. I can't have a rooster? What is the story? You know, man, I'm telling you. And then if I have chickens, I can't kill them and eat them in the town because it's slaughter law. Are you kidding me? I can't even kill a chicken on my property and eat it. How about eggs? Can I eat the eggs it lays? I hope so. But you can go, somebody can murder a child, cut his arms and legs and head off and everything, put it in a pile, quivering pile, and not get fined for it. But they can, if they do that to a chicken, they can have to get a fine. You can have a fine. If you take the voice out of your rooster, you get fined. But if you kill your child, you're free. Whose laws are these? I'd say we got to sort out our priorities here, people. What's going on in this United States of America? This is ridiculous. I caught somebody stealing from me, got the cops, brought him there, and the owner of the business came in and pointed at me and said, I don't want that man back in this store. Because I told on his assistants, I watched them cheat another guy out of 100, and then they did it to me because we were dealing with cash. I had cash, and so did that other guy. They had found a way to steal your money. And I told them about it. They wouldn't listen to me. They got it on film too. She said, he goes, well, we don't tape things here, but Chicago tapes everything. All transactions are digitally recorded. So they saw me get ripped off, and they're not doing anything about it. You know what? They deserve what they get, because what you give is what you get. And they're $45 million in the red right now. They're on their way out. Yep. They're on their way out. And I had proof too. And if they would let me find out who that other guy was, they wouldn't. They're keeping him from me because they know if we get together, we can go in cahoots together and prove that they ripped us off for $100 a piece. Because we're dealing with cash. I went to the bank before I went to the music store. I get better response, I got money here. It's not going to fall through, I buy all this stuff, and all of a sudden my credit's bad, No, I had cash, man, and I got attention. People pay attention to cash. Yeah, they pay attention. They want to rip you off, too. Because this guy, he was just covered with tattoos, his fingernails painted black. And he's just staring at me, trying to figure out how he's going to get some of my money that I got piled up on the table. 2 piles of it. One pile to pay for the organ I'm buying, and then the other pile was my cash stash. I was taking money out of that and buying this and that. And I had my wallet on top of it. And I got lackadaisical, and I went and I ran across the room and got a tuner and came back. The guy looks at me and goes, "You're $100 short." I'm going, what? What are you talking about? You're $100 short. Those weren't 250s. Those were 220s. So I had 3 piles, 250s in each pile. That's $300. I counted it out to him. I looked at him. I said, how much more? And he goes, $68. So I gave him $68.70, $2 tip. And I go, oh, I forgot a tuner. I got to go get it. So I ran to get the tuner. And it took me, I don't know, a little while, And I come back, and he's looking at me, and he goes, "You're $100 short." They just did this to me. What they're doing to me right now, they just did it to another guy an hour before I watched it happen. But they got him with a counter. He had $1,200 all piled up in $100 piles. And he says, I don't have time to count that out. I'll take it back to the counter. and then I'll bring the slip back to you. He goes, okay. So he gathers all the money out, and he goes in the back, and he comes back, and he hands him the slip, and he goes, you're $100 short. The guy goes, what? I watched him count it, too. He had 12 piles of $100 bills. Hundreds, fives, tens, and 20s, and all that. He got paid. He's a DJ. And on the weekends, he gets paid per job. He has 3 jobs a weekend, and it's $100 an hour. And he's like the minimum 6 hours or something like that, or maximum or something. I don't know what he did, but he got paid cash. So he's there buying his musical equipment and everything with cash. These guys are frosting at the bit. 2 new guys, too. I've never seen them before. 2 new guys that this Mike guy hired as and called them assistant managers. Pays them minimum wage, but he makes them an assistant manager. They got status, but this is probably a foreign country company or some sort. But if you're hiring musicians, you're hiring people who don't have a lot of money, and if they're working for you for minimum wage and there's a $2,000 guitar there that they want real bad, and they're an assistant manager in charge, well, when they're in charge and they're the only one in the store, guess where that guitar goes? That's why they're in $45 million in debt, because musicians will rip you off royally. I've just experienced it. I experienced it. And I know what this company is. I painted a music store one time. A guy, I was only 14 years old, 13, 14. The guy at the music store, he goes, if you paint my store. Okay. So I painted the whole store and everything. Both stores. He had 2 stores. I painted both of them. And I come back. He goes, okay, well, since you did that, I'm going to give you credit on a bass guitar. In other words, you have to make a payment every month, but I'm going to give you credit because you painted my 2 stores. And I said to myself, this guy thinks I'm a freaking dumb. And so he left me in charge. He left me in charge one day. I just took a guitar for the painting the store. I took a guitar, and it was about $130. And that's about how much I would have charged back then in the 1960s. I was only 13, 63. That's when you worked for $1.25 an hour, 95 cents an hour. I can remember it being. And it went up to $1.25. Everybody thought they were going to get rich, But I was a young kid. I wasn't going to be taking advantage of some guy. I worked my tailbone off for him, and he gives me credit on a bass guitar. And he knows that I took it because I told all of his friends. I know they went back and told him. I says, I painted both stores. He wouldn't give me anything for it. So I took a guitar. Oh, you stole from him? No, he stole from me. I just took what he owed me. And that's what I get from these darn music stores, man. People think, that they lord it over you and everything. And they steal your money right to your face. You call me a thief? You call me a liar? You saying I stole the $100 from you? I says, well, I'm not. I says, I'm calling you what you are. You're a hoodwinking crook. I says, because if there was, here's the reason how I know that you're screwed up. Because if those 220s, they weren't 50s, they were 220s. If they were 220s, then I would have only been $60 short. Idiot. You forgot to subtract the 220s that you pulled out of my other pile and put in place of the 250s that you stuck in your pocket. But in your mind, you're thinking $100 because you're stoned. That's the way it was. I had to go get a cop. And by the time I got a bad cop, got so mixed up and everything, the guy points his finger at me. He says, I don't want that man back in this office. And the cop turns around at me, and he's a taxpayer, And he turns around at me and he says, if you come back here, I'm going to have to arrest you. Arrest me? They stole from me. What am I going to do? I just spent $6,000 here. $6,000. The girl added it all up for me. I spent over $6,000 there, and some hoodwinker off the street corner. He's training to be a special manager. Ripped me off for $100 right in front of my face, and they did it to another guy just before me, and they wouldn't give me his name because they knew I associated the two. That they ripped him off. If I get with him, then we can both get on him about ripping you off for $100. The $100 scam. They just tell you you're $100 short, and then they look at you, and then you look at them back. You damn crook! What did you do with my? Did you steal that right in front? And they did. They stole it right in front of you, and they look at you. Are you calling me a liar? That's their game. Are you calling me a thief? He's calling me a thief here. I didn't steal nothing. And then when you go get the cops, because they tried to steal my $800 amplifier, I told them to put it in the back of my truck. Because I've been sick. You're sick, you're old, and they're robbing you. They see you. It's just like the Crocs culling the herds going across. Old, somebody crippled, somebody what, and down they come. That's what they do in those music stores. There are a bunch of crooks in those music stores. I'm sorry. I experienced them. And if I could find that DJ and we could get together, I was hoping, well, maybe he doesn't pay taxes. He won't complain if he doesn't pay taxes, so I don't have anybody to back me up. He won't back it up if I say, he had $1,200 there, and they got him for $100. He just paid it again and left. They actually got him for $200 because they took the $100 from him, and then he had to pay another $100 to put it in. That's $200. Me would have been $100. I didn't pay $100. I caught the guy. I said, not $100, but he had $60. Those were 220s. I'm not $100 short. I'm only $60 short. You got $100 in your brain.